Okay, so we're going to focus on the AFC East, and it's a slight adjustment to the drafts we've been doing. We've been doing the best players who aren't quarterbacks in various divisions. Today, it's the most important non-quarterbacks, which can include anyone. Coaches, GMs in theory, owners in theory, whoever. The most important non-quarterbacks in the AFC East, where we spend so much time talking about Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, Aaron Rodgers now, and Michael McCorkle-Jones. So I'll give you the first pick. Most important non-quarterback in the AFC East.
Well, I mean, I know there's some coaches here that could be in this conversation. I'm going to stay to the field, though, right now, and it's Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is the one guy I look at to go, you take that guy off that team, and that changes everything. They don't look the same. Their offense isn't as fun. It's not as creative. It's not as dangerous. Tua doesn't look the same without him. He opens up everything. It's the constant worry about where and what do we do with the fastest human we've seen in football, not named Deion Sanders, and how do we cover him and deal with all the way Mike McDaniel's got him flying around and doing all that. He's a game changer, and that's where I will go with him. I think like his ability to change a game and change that offense and team is up there with anybody in the sport right now.
Yeah, look, I agree with you completely. He is more important to that offense than Tua Tagovailoa. Tua is distributing the ball. Tyreek Hill is doing incredible things with it still and also creating opportunities for others because everybody is still focused on where is Tyreek Hill. How do we account for Tyreek Hill? And, there went Jalen Waddle. Oh, there went Raheem Mostert. Oh, there went this guy. There went that guy.
Right.
That's the kind of impact that he has.
Exactly.
I'm going to go Stefon Diggs. And look, this is drama day. I'm trying to stir up drama.
Apparently.
At the same time, I lament the fact. Well, I mean, hey, look, I'm in the business of covering the NFL, and the NFL is far more interesting for people to follow when there's drama. Stefon Diggs kind of lit the fuse against the Bengals. Some of the stuff that we saw, the gestures on the field. He was standing there in the face of Josh Allen, expressing himself in a way that suggested he was not content with the situation. So, week 1, Monday Night Football, there they are. Cameras back on. You know they're going to have hey, ESPN producer, pro tip, have a camera on Stefon Diggs the entire night because we saw it in Minnesota when things go sideways, and I know he's a competitor, and we love him. We love him, but he's not bashful about making it known when he's not happy. And I just wonder how much belief does he have in where things are going, right? Does he think the same things you and I think? Like, where's all the help around? It's me and Josh. Where's everybody else?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on there? Why weren't we ready to play in the snow? What's happening with this team? Why can't we I came here to get over the hump. I signed up with one of the great young quarterbacks in the NFL thinking it's going to get me over the hump. Why can't we get over the hump? I just wonder how on the same page with everyone else he is. He's just an important figure. He's a critical figure for that Buffalo Bills because which way he goes is going to say a lot about which way the team goes. And which way the team goes early is going to have an influence on which way he goes psychologically. And do we see agitation to get out? Does it happen after the season? Does it happen during the season? I just think he looms over the Bills this year given the way it ended in 2022.
Yeah, no, I think you said a lot of right things. His attitude, his energy will have an effect on that football team, where he's at mentally that way. And then, of course, what he does on the football field, he's special. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, you kind of said it, and that's probably part of his frustration. We look at it and go, is there a star quarterback that has more of a this is my one difference maker I can throw to type of guy than these two. It's special. That's where I hope he doesn't lose sight of the situation to go, hey, it ain't easy getting over the hump, right? It's not easy. You're right around the hump, so there's something to be said about that too. And you're part of an awesome quarterback wide receiver combination that's as good as we've seen in the sport the last few years. So I hope that's where he can stay positive. But I think you say some things that are right about his frustration, and that's why they drafted Dalton Kincaid in the first round, because they realized they got to have other guys. It can't be just, if we double-team Stefon Diggs, maybe somebody else will show up today, right? They got to start to have, no, you double Stefon Diggs, you're screwed, we're going to kill you with these guys. And that's where Josh Allen and Diggs have not had that necessarily in that offense. So I'm with you there, Mike. That's a good pick. I'm going to go with Billy O'Brien, my next pick. It's open up to coaches here. I'm going there. His success, what he does, how he gels with Mac Jones, I think is going to be paramount to how sneaky or annoying the Patriots will be in the AFC or AFC East. So that's where I'm excited to see what he can do. I think we know that defense is still going to be good. It's a good defense. They can run the ball. I think it's a good O-line. Their pass game, will they advance past first grade this year? Because that's where they were last year. And that's where I'm excited for Billy O'Brien, and the Patriots could be one of those teams that could be secretly a pain in the butt if that works out right.
So it was like crayons and safety scissors last year for
right.
Mac Jones?
Paste here, color it red in the lines, please. Exactly. That's what it was last year.
I hated those damn safety scissors because I was left-handed, and they make everything in the entire
all righty.
world
Right.
is geared toward right-handed.
Exactly. Right.
And then when I finally got a pair of left-handed scissors, I didn't know what the hell to do with them because I had taught myself how to use right-handed scissors.
Yeah, I cut it with right hand too. You're right. I'm the same problem. I can remember going, why can't I cut paper with scissors? And I remember going through that struggle as a young kid, and then somebody telling me, no, these are supposed to be on your right hand. And I was like, oh man, that's a lot easier.
I remember there was somebody in my first grade class who was left-handed, and the teacher forced her to go right-handed.
Wow.
My mom caught wind of it.
Uh-oh.
And she made sure that they do not mess. He's left-handed, and that's what he is, and do not try to change him. And you just wonder,
Florio.
something like that, oh, yeah, do not mess.
Right.
Do not mess. No. I'm a little feisty, and all of it comes from her. Anyway, I remember being afraid, am I next? And I don't know how my mom knew about it. Maybe I said something at home, but she made it very clear. Do not change him from left-handed. All right. You didn't pick a head coach, so I'll go Robert Saleh because he's the guy with the Jets that's going to be responsible for making this thing work. Here we are now. Big expectations, even though that schedule, maybe you should temper the expectations a little bit, but you got Aaron Rodgers, you got a great defense. He's the guy that's got to pull it all together every week. He's got to preside over this team that has unrealistically high expectations, because if it doesn't work, it's not going to be Aaron Rodgers' fault. Whose fault is it going to be if it doesn't work? It's all going to fall on the coach. He's on the high wire without a net, and it's up to him to make it all as successful as it can be. And I still think that it's going to be hard for them to even get to the playoffs. We talked about how difficult their schedule is. Half the slate against the AFC West and the NFC East. It may be one team and one team only out of that division. And if they don't make the playoffs, Chris, it's going to be regarded as a complete and total failure because they have Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. This is a hell of an all-in bet that they've made. And the guy who's going to have to pay the price, I fear, if it doesn't work, is the head coach.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I don't think you're wrong in that. And again, too, I think with the Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he's there. And then, as we've discussed a lot of times, the roster is loaded. They're loaded. So those are two things that are going to put pressure on a coach. The fans are going to look at it. Other teams who play the Jets are going to go, damn, that's a good team. And they're going to say that to the media. The media is going to know, hey, other coaches, they look at the Jets and go, whoa, they got talent across the board. Yeah, that puts more pressure on the head coach to have results, to be relative, whatever it is there. So it's a big year, and there's a lot to deal with there. You're right. And, between the quarterback situation and how that was, I think, mishandled last year a little bit, that probably puts a little bit more of a bullseye or a microscope on Robert Saleh in this situation. We going to go and do the third round of this draft right now, or are we going to go to a break?
Do it.
It's so weird.
No, we're going to do it.
We usually do the draft at the end, and I'm usually like, hey, I like to have my little break in between here to figure out who I want to take in round 3. All right, but if we're going most important non-QB, right, and damn, there's a lot of good players in the AFC East. Holy crapola, Batman. But this one, I just look at this Von Miller is who I'm going to throw out there because his health is crucial to how good the Bills can be. Like we saw last year, he was finally, a little bit like that guy we just talked about who could go above and beyond the playbook. Oh, it's a big moment. Here comes Von around the edge. Sack. Oh, there goes Mahomes trying to escape the pocket in a big moment, laying the fourth. Oh, Von Miller's there. He had to throw it away. Interception. Boom. So, yeah, his health is crucial just to how awesome and how relevant and where they can seed themselves in the AFC and how quickly he can get back to top, tip-top form there.
You're absolutely right with that. That was the big all-in move they made last year. They were going to use him sparingly for health reasons. He suffers that torn ACL. I believe it was in
Detroit, the Thanksgiving game.
It was Thanksgiving.
They didn't think it was torn,
game in
remember?
Detroit. And
yeah.
They didn't think it was a big deal. He'd be back in a few weeks, and the next thing you know, he has the full-blown ACL repair. I'm going back to the Dolphins, and I was tempted to go – wait, no, I'm not going to the Dolphins. I'm going to the Jets. I was tempted to go Jalen Ramsey, the new arrival in Miami, but I mean, I don't know how much importance he has because he's the new guy. How much expectation is going to be on him? How much of the burden is on him? I'm going to go Quinnen Williams with the Jets.
That's a good one.
I'm going back-to-back Jets because he doesn't have the contract. They got to get that worked out. One of the reasons their defense was so good last year was because of him. If he, for whatever reason, isn't what he was last year, that puts more pressure on the defense, which puts more pressure on the offense. And even though they didn't make it to the playoffs last year, they were better as a team. They could take a step back there if Williams isn't as effective as he was last year. So he's a critical piece. They got to get that deal done, got to get him in the fold and have him in a position to have the kind of year he had last year where he's effing up the play and making it easier for the rest of the defense to do what they have to do.
I think it's a good choice. I thought about taking him in the last round, this last pick too, Mike. I'm with you there. You said it all, right? First off, he's special. And he's one of those guys on their defense in their front seven where you go, no, he can ruin a game. He can F the play up. He plays a crucial position to that defensive scheme. So there's so many things that are why Quinnen Williams is important to the Jets and their success. And, of course, the contract situation adds to all that intrigue and what's he going to be when he gets back out there. So good pick by you.
There's a lot of high-stakes poker in the AFC East this year, especially when you consider there may only be one playoff berth. You've got the Bills. Things are a little tense. The Jets with this move with Rodgers, high expectations. The Patriots, based on the things that Robert Kraft, the owner of the team, said at the last owners' meetings, are getting together again, by the way, this week in Minneapolis. But in Arizona, the stuff he said, you read between the lines, maybe the seat's getting a little hot for Bill Belichick. The only guy that's safe is the dude who was at the Heat-Celtics game last night getting the crowd fired up, Mike McDaniel. He's good to go. He's working for the one owner that will fire anybody anytime they want. And there really weren't many fans there when he was trying to get the crowd fired up. But the Heat won.
Yeah.
He's the good luck charm.
He's the good luck charm.
We didn't talk about basketball.
I was going to bring it up.
I was looking forward to a Celtics-Lakers renewal. I remember that was like the series to watch in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe they were careening for another one,
right.
But it looks like it's going to be the Nuggets and the Heat.
It's going to happen. It is. It's pretty impressive. I mean, it would have been cool for TV, Lakers, Celtics. I'm with you. Lakers, Heat would have been cool as well. But there's some new, fresh blood here. Heat, Nikola Jokic, excuse me, for Denver. He's the best player in the sport. And he's carrying that team, so it's cool. And as a New Yorker, I'm kind of sick of seeing Boston in the championship games in sports, so I'm not really shedding a tear that they're down 3-0 right now.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.